Hello, I'm Jake,
And I'm Olivia.
and welcome to the Buc Buzz.
So Jake, what are you looking forward to most this senior year?
Well, obviously I can't wait till graduation, but I am even more excited for senior trip.
That sounds really fun. When is it?
We leave on February 27th.
Wow, that's only a month away. What are you going to be doing?
Well, the senior trip is the annual trip the seniors take to Orlando, Florida. A majority of the activities are centered around enjoying the many parks that Disney World has to offer. Students dorm together usually in groups of around 4, and the trip is a chance for all the seniors to come together in an awesome bonding experience. For more about senior trip, we're going to send it over to Roman and Rachel.
For years, the senior class has been going to Florida to visit Walt Disney World and Universal Studios as a treat for their hard work during high school. To gain more information, I recently caught up with a senior, Jake Gerber, and asked him just how the senior trip works.
Senior trip starts on February 27th. We leave on a Saturday night, so we're leaving we have to leave pretty early in the morning, like 2 in the morning or something crazy like that. The fundraising for this trip, you can really do whatever you want. Me personally, I didn't fundraise a lot, but I know some people have fundraised in the past, raising for their entire trip. We did like a chicken barbecue, and we did these Save Around coupon books, which are very popular, and you can definitely fundraise a lot. I know we're going to Orlando, Florida for our trip. We have like park passes for Disney, so I think we're allowed to go to really any park you want to. It's really up to you and who you're rooming with. The part that I'm most excited for is the Hollywood Studios. I've been there before. I really like the Rock and Roller Coaster, and probably go on that a few times. And then there's a new Star Wars part of the park that I would definitely be interested in going to. So. Well, I know Mrs. Palmatesso is chaperoning because she's our class advisor, and I believe Mr. Mirabito is coming back after he's coming out of retirement to chaperone the trip as well. And I think one of my friend's parents was doing it as well. So I think it's around 5 days. I'm really not sure. I would do it if it was just like 3. I'm really excited.
That sounds like it'll be a lot of fun for the seniors. Recently, we were all hoping to win the $1.6 billion Powerball. Everyone was buying tickets, and it seemed like nobody was going to win as the numbers jumped from $800 million to $1.6 billion. There were finally 3 big winners in California, Florida, and Tennessee. Everyone was hoping to win at least a little bit of money, and that's what happened to a local. Linda Windy from Parrish, New York, purchased 3 Powerball tickets in Kentucky, where she was staying at the time, and realized on Wednesday after checking the numbers after work that 5 of her 6 numbers matched the winning numbers from the Powerball. Those 5 numbers earned her $1 million. With an even more interesting twist to the story, Linda spotted a bloodmobile outside the lottery HQ for a scheduled employee blood drive. After her collecting her $1 million from the sky in her news conference, Linda took her check and went to donate a pint of blood to the drive. Linda is currently living in Ohio with her relatives due to a temporary job with eBay.
I guess that money really does buy happiness.
Definitely it does. Now for some local news. Recently there's been another parking ban enacted on the Oswego City, preventing people from parking on the side of the roads in the city of Oswego. I remember this taking place last year, and it was a huge topic of concern for the residents of Oswego City. For more about the ban and what it entails, let's send it over to Zach Caruso.
The overnight parking ban has been implemented in the city of Oswego. The overnight parking ban will be between 1 a.m. and 6 a.m. This ban is so that the plows can move more freely through the streets. Public parking is available, though. Public parking will be available in the Old Price Shopper parking lot, the Brightback parking lot closest to the Kingsford Bell, Wright's Landing, and on multiple streets including West 1st Street and West Cayuga Street. The Oswego City Police have issued 328 courtesy violations that was reduced to just 20 2 days later. The mayor's office is working very hard with SUNY Oswego to let their students know about this ban, as they may not know about it before they get back.
My thoughts on the parking ban is that it's necessary just because it makes it a lot safer for people to be driving at night. The visibility's down, especially when it's snowing, so it's a lot harder to see those cars that are on the side, and you could possibly slip and bump into them. So I think that the parking ban is necessary. I don't see any big problems with it. It's a little bit of a problem just because, maybe you have to park a little bit farther away from your house just because, some people don't have driveways. I think that we have the parking ban just to keep the people who are driving at night safer and the cars safer, and it makes it a lot easier for the plows to get through the roads, just so they don't clip one of the cars.
I do wonder how long this ban will be in effect this year.
It will certainly have a huge impact for drivers around the city, and there are definitely some people that won't be happy about it.
Now we're going to send over to Billy in Austin with another installment of This Week in Technology, where we'll learn about the latest innovations in the market. They always have very cool inventions to show, so I'm excited to see what they are. This week we're going to learn more information about a Parrot Disco, the Oculus Rift, and driverless cars. Let's send it over to them.
Delphi's Audi SUV has been taken cross-country from San Francisco to New York. This year the company is showing off what they call the V2E, or Vehicle to Everything. It basically lets the car talk directly with other vehicles, special traffic lights, and even pedestrians, assuming that they have the right chip in their smartphone. This car has many radars and sensors, making the car more self-aware, so even safer. It's very slow, but the ride in the whole is nice and smooth, and its speed is to a speed right down to the turning of the car. The Delphi's SUV is a really cool car. A company called Parrot is working on a new prototype drone called the Disco. It only has one propeller with a wide camera angle lens, so that the video you get will be very firm and pretty cool looking. The Disco can go up to 80 kilometers per hour and fly up to 2 kilometers. For the Disco to take off, you have to shake it to get the propeller to spin and throw it. The Disco seems really cool and a very unique drone to say the least. Oculus is a company that works on virtual reality gaming headsets. They just announced the price in the pre-order for the Rift, which will be priced at $600. It will be coming out March 28th is when you can get your hands on this beautiful device, which is very unique, and the price, in my opinion, is very worth it. Though they still have one more thing to handle. Most people tend to say that they feel nauseous when they use it. That happens mostly when they do the big games, like when they're flying in space and all that other kind of stuff. It's something that our brain can't quite comprehend at the given point in time. It's not a quick fix, but should be quite cool if the problem can be solved. The Oculus Rift will definitely be a unique step in gaming history.
I still cannot believe that driverless cars actually exist now.
Me neither. It's pretty crazy.
It really is. More of our school news. The Oswego High School Director of Band, Scott Ciesla, has received the 2016 National Band Director of the Year Award. This award was presented at the U.S. Army All-American Bowl Awards Show in San Antonio, Texas. Ciesla has been a member of the New York State School of Music Association and the National Association for Music Education for 10 years. He's been in his current position as Director of Bands at OHS since 2010, and he's been teaching for 14 years. Along with his responsibilities directing the wind ensemble, concert band, and marching band, as well as doing brass instruction and being the solo and ensemble coach, Ciesla co-teaches the middle school jazz band. One of his biggest honors is having at least one student from his bands earn the honor of being accepted into the U.S. Army All-American Marching Band every year since its inception in 2008. The National Band Director of the Year Award honors the band director who has been an inspiration to students and music educators, and who, by his or her actions, embodies the U.S. Army's core values. Mr. Ciesla seems very deserving.
He really does. That is such an amazing honor. Now we'll take it over to Noah and Kevin, who have some information for us about a fundraiser that the girls lacrosse team will be doing to raise funds for their annual trip to partake in games against teams from down south. This is such a cool trip, and it is awesome that they can play teams from completely different states. For more, let's send it over to them.
This spring, the girls' varsity lacrosse team will be traveling to Florida. We caught up with senior midfielder Kira O'Gorman to get some information on this trip and its importance to the girls' lacrosse program here at Oswego High School.
We'll be traveling to Florida at the end of March.
Activities the team participates in while in Florida.
While we're in Florida, our team gets to participate in a lot of different activities, such as things like a lot of different team bondings. We do 2 practices every day, and we get to scrimmage teams from all around the country, so that's pretty cool. We get to go to all the theme parks, and it's just a really good experience for our team.
This is in Disney World.
Yes, we get to go to Disney World and travel, and it's awesome.
Making this trip is important to the girls lacrosse program.
I think this trip is really important because it's in the beginning of the season and it's usually still snowing out and we're always inside, stuck inside practicing. So we're never really prepared for our beginning games, so we get to be outside practicing twice a day on full fields, which we don't even have a full field that we practice on here. And it just gives us a great opportunity for team bonding, especially because when I went my sophomore year, I just know we all got so close, and it's everyone's favorite memory they had from lacrosse.
Lastly, what fundraisers are going on currently or in the future to support this trip?
We have 2 upcoming fundraisers. One is going to be a Canales Day on January 30th. And so if anyone goes there and uses a coupon, part of the proceeds from Canales will go to us for that day. And we're also planning a can drive for the day after the Super Bowl. So if anyone wants to come out to any of those, the girls lacrosse team would really appreciate it.
That sounds like a great way to raise funds.
I agree. Now, I'm sure many of you out there have attended the local Oswego Speedway, one of the top tourist attractions in Oswego. This notable local speedway is now being featured out of state in a Philadelphia auto show. This is such a cool honor for a local speedway to receive recognition from outside of the area. For more about this, we're going to send it over to Greg, Miranda, and Zach, all 3 of them.
The Oswego Speedway has had many achievements since its opening in 1951. This year, the Oswego Speedway has been selected to be featured in a race car and trade show located at the Greater Philadelphia Expo Center. The show will be held in Oaks, Pennsylvania from January 22nd through 24th. It will feature many drivers and tracks from around the country. We were able to talk to Dan Kopinski about the 31st Annual Motorsports Race Car and Trade Show, an auto show the Speedway is attending in Philadelphia later this year. Dan is the Public Relations Director at the Oswego Speedway and has been in this position for 5 years. I asked him about the process to get into one of these shows. He said the process is relatively simple. You have to reach out to the promoter and pay the fee associated with the show. The hardest part, according to him, is finding a car to bring to the show. For this show, they were able to get cars from drivers Doug Kobe and Ray Graham. The Speedway is attending the show primarily to promote its 2016 season. Their aim is to promote more about the return of the NASCAR Whelen Modified Tour to Oswego, the first time since 1989. We asked him about what occurs at these shows, such as competitions, or if it's used to inform raceways of one another's existence. Dan told us that the Oswego Speedway is there primarily to promote their upcoming schedule and season. Also, racers can reach out to vendors or sponsors interested in partnering with the Speedway. There are some awards available as well, including a Best Appearing Car award. The last question I asked him was about how popular the show was. Dan responded with saying how the auto show is hosted by Len Sammons of Area Auto Racing News, the leading racing newspaper in the Northeast. The show hosts racetracks and racers all the way from North Carolina to Maine and as far west as Indiana. It's the largest show in the Northeast and hosts thousands of people every year.
That sounds really cool. The Speedway is really great and well-deserved this award.
Definitely it is. Now we're going to send it over to Nate Green and Nate Schultzke, who have prepared some information about the NHS Gertrude Hawk Chocolate Fundraiser. This is one of the most popular fundraisers in our school, as those chocolate bars are always in high demand. Whether you're a fan of the crispy milk chocolate or raspberry, or maybe almond or dark chocolate, the NHS members have the chocolate for you. For more, we're going to send it over to Nate and Nate.
Hello, I'm Nathan Schultzke here with WBUC News. The latest segment today in OHS is NHS and the selling of Gertrude Hawk chocolate to fundraise. Recently, Nate Green and I caught up with one of the NHS officials. Let's send it over to them and see what they have to say.
We're selling chocolate for NHS, and if we sell extra chocolate, we get extra short-term projects for NHS. NHS is the National Honor Society, and we do lots of community service around Oswego, and yeah. You have to write an essay about why you think you deserve to be in NHS, and you have to have above a 90 on a unweighted average. We'll be selling chocolate for the next couple weeks.
National Honor Society is a great program at OHS. It benefits the school in many ways and benefits the students in many ways. We appreciate those who helped out during this segment, and to fundraise for yourself, more ideas at GertrudeHawkChocolate.com. Thank you. Let's send it back to you guys.
I know I've been enjoying buying that chocolate.
As have I.
Well, that's all for this edition of the Buc Buzz.
Thanks for tuning in.
Make sure you tune in next week for more real local and school news.
Have a terrific day, everybody.